Okay, get ready because what we're about to dive into is going to challenge pretty much everything you thought you knew about ancient history, about technology, and, well, about the universe itself. We're going on a journey to explore a truly radical idea. What if the ancient sages of India didn't just observe the stars? What if they understood the very fabric of the cosmos on a level so profound that they documented it as a kind of celestial source code? So let's just get right to the core of this incredible mystery. The central question, the one that keeps us up at night, is this. How did ancient astronomers, we're talking thousands and thousands of years ago, calculate the positions of the planets with an accuracy that is, for all intents and purposes, impossible? They had no telescopes, no modern computers, yet their calculations were so precise they rival what we can do today. This isn't just a quirky historical footnote, it's a profound, gaping anomaly in the history of science that demands an explanation.
Now, before we can even begin to crack that mystery, we have to understand something absolutely crucial. How did this knowledge even get to us? Think about other ancient civilizations. So much of their wisdom is lost, buried in ruins, something we have to piece together from fragments. But not this. This system is different. It's been preserved and passed down through what can only be described as an unbroken chain of knowledge, a living, breathing tradition that has weathered the storms of millennia.
I mean, just look at this timeline. This is not a history of rediscovery. It's a history of continuous practice. It starts more than 7,000 years ago with astronomical knowledge embedded in the Vedas. We see it in the Mahabharata era with detailed celestial observations. It flows right through the great Saraswati Indus Valley civilization, survives the rise and fall of massive empires like the Mauryan and the great southern dynasties, the Chalukyas, the Cholas. It persists through invasions, through the Mughal era, all the way to figures like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in the 17th century, and continues even today. This is arguably the only ancient knowledge tradition of its kind that is still alive and intact. That fact alone is staggering.
So we've established that this tradition is an incredible vessel that has carried this knowledge through time. But what exactly is the knowledge it's carrying? The key, the source code itself, is found within ancient Sanskrit texts, and the master text is called the Brihad Parashara Horashastra. And this is where we have to shift our perspective. We need to stop thinking of this as a religious or mythological text and start seeing it for what its structure suggests it is, a highly technical, deeply logical manual for the cosmos.
And right here in this one verse is the key that unlocks the entire system's logic. This isn't poetry in the way we usually think of it. This is a technical definition. The text is literally telling us how it defines its own terms. It says, take the word ahoratra, which means a full day and night cycle. Now drop the first syllable ah and the last syllable tra. What are you left with? Hora. It's a linguistic algorithm. It's like a programmer in the first few lines of a program saying, let x equal this. It's establishing its own variables with absolute precision. And from that one simple logical step, we get the word ora. What does it mean? An hour. 1/24 of a day. This becomes the foundational unit of time, the absolute bedrock for every single calculation that follows. It's like the number one in mathematics. Once you define it, you can build an entire universe of complexity on top of it. The system is building itself, brick by logical brick, right in front of our eyes. So as we go deeper, we realize we're not reading stories. We're exploring a database, a massive, intricately structured celestial database. Every single element in the cosmos, every planet, every star, every sign of the zodiac is systematically defined with a list of specific attributes and properties. It's not a narrative. It's a configuration file for reality. It's a technical specification for the universe. Let's look at a concrete example. Here's a tiny snippet of the data for the zodiac sign Gemini, or Mithuna. Now, you might see a male with a mace and a female with a vina and think it's just mythology. But in this system, it's a data point. Look at the other attributes. Direction is west. Nature is airy, bipedal, night strong. Lord is Mercury. These aren't just poetic flourishes. Each one is a variable, a specific value assigned to an object that gets plugged into the system's calculations to determine relationships and outcomes. It reads exactly like a class definition in object-oriented programming. It's the same for the planets. They aren't just gods in the sky. They are core components of the cosmic operating system, each with a defined function, or swarupa. The sun isn't just a ball of gas. Its essence is atma, the soul. The moon is manas, the mind. Mercury is vani, speech.
You see what's happening? The system is defining its core functions, the primary drivers of the entire cosmic machine. This is a system of pure, cold logic, dressed in the language of its time. Okay, so we have this ancient, unbelievably complex logical system, this cosmic database preserved in Sanskrit verse. It's fascinating as a piece of history, for sure, but what happens when you take that ancient source code and try to run it on modern hardware? What happens when ancient knowledge meets 21st century technology? Well, this is where the story gets truly incredible. Meet Vikram. He is the person who is actually doing it. By day, he's a senior technical program manager and an AI solution architect in Australia. He leads teams, solves incredibly complex problems, designs systems based on artificial intelligence. But his passion, his real driving force, is using those exact same skills to decode ancient Indian texts. He has the perfect, unique combination of skills, the technical rigor of a modern engineer and the deep, passionate curiosity of a historical detective. And what he's accomplished is, well, it's a monumental feat of engineering. This isn't just about translating a book. He started by researching ancient Sanskrit manuscripts. Then came the translation, not just of words, but of complex astronomical and mathematical logic. Then, the truly mind-bending part, mapping those ancient cosmic concepts onto modern data structures. This was a massive data engineering task, codifying thousands upon thousands of logical rules. From there, he built modern computational algorithms to execute that logic, and finally, designed and built a functional web application. He didn't just study the source code, he re-engineered and recompiled it for the 21st century. So that brings us to the moment of truth, the ultimate test. We have this ancient system painstakingly reverse-engineered from dusty manuscripts. We have a modern application built to run its logic. The question is, does it actually work? Is it more than just a historical curiosity? Can this ancient code actually execute? And this is the smoking gun. This is where it all comes together. On the left, you have an ancient Sanskrit verse. It says, essentially, if the sun and Rahu are situated in a specific astronomical point called the Karakamsha, there may be a risk of death from serpents. Now look to the right. That's a line of modern Python code. It's a simple if-then statement. If the sun is in the Karakamsha and Rahu is in the Karakamsha, then print risk from serpents. They are functionally identical. The ancient verse is not a prophecy. It's a line of code. It's a conditional statement. This isn't a metaphor. It's a direct one-to-one translation of logic across millennia. So this forces us to ask a profound question. What are we actually looking at here? Is this ancient poetry? Is it some forgotten religion? Or is it something else entirely? Could it be that what we've mistaken from myth and verse is in fact a functional computer program designed to model the universe, written in a language we're only now beginning to understand? The implications are just staggering. Look, the evidence is powerful, and the parallels between ancient verse and modern code are just undeniable. But the ultimate proof isn't in the comparison, it's in the execution. So in our next explainer, we're going to do something that's never been done before. We're going to take this ancient source code, translate it directly into Python, and we're going to run it. We're going to compile and execute the source code of the cosmos. Trust me, you are not going to want to miss this.